Hello everyone, welcome to Neo Daily Current Affairs program. Today on January 13th, the topics will be dealing are Pensioners Portals, Biodiversity Act 2002, the data localization, Women of India Organic Festival, and Kayapur town is our math topic, and finally PQRS, that is previous question revision series. Let's go through the topics one by one. Pensioners Portals. The Bhavishya, Anubhav and Sankalp are portals for pensioners by the Ministry of Personal, Public Grievances and Pensions. Recently, the Department of Pensions and Pensioners Welfare under this ministry is organizing workshops for the smooth operations of its different initiatives, including these three portals. And this Bhavishya is a portal. It is an online pension sanction and pension tracking system, and the tracking can be done either by the retiring employee, also the administrative authorities, and also the forms required during the process are available in electronic format in this Bhavishya portal. Next is Anubhav. It is an online software for showcasing outstanding work done by the retiring employee, and they can also share their experience of working with the government through this Anubhav portal. And the ministry will conduct workshops on Anubhav, that is experience, for their retiring employees, and they can also upload their write-ups in this portal. And this department has also launched an award scheme for best write-ups by the retiring employee. Another one is Sankalp. It is a program that aims to convert the skill, experience and the time available with the retired employee and into a meaningful and a voluntary contribution to the society. That is, it aims to convert the skill, time, etc. of the retiring government servant into a meaningful and voluntary contribution to the society. And this project has started on pilot basis on about 2000 pensioners. Let us move on to our next topic, Biodiversity Act 2002. The Divya Pharmacy, which is owned by Baba Ramdev, it has pleaded in Uttarakhand High Court against sharing revenue from indigenous biological resources with the local communities there. And recently, the Uttarakhand High Court dismissed this case filed by this Divya Pharmacy, and the court said that the pharmacy must pay the Uttarakhand Biodiversity Board because this pharmacy uses biological resources for commercial purposes. And the importance of this verdict is the court opined that the traditional knowledge of these communities may not strictly qualify as an intellectual property right, but it is a property right. And the India's Biological Diversity Act of 2002 has a provision called Fair and Equitable Benefit Sharing. So this judgment upholds the spirit of this Biological Diversity Act. And a few words about the Biodiversity Act of 2002. It is an act passed by the Parliament which is to regulate the access to biological resources of the country and the equitable sharing benefit arising out of the use of these biological resources. And this act aims at to respect and protect the traditional knowledge of local communities related to the biodiversity. And this act is in line with India's international commitments under the Convention on Biological Diversity or the Nagoya Protocol. And the act set up a National Biodiversity Authority, a State Biodiversity Board and Biodiversity Management Committees. And both these NBA and SSB, that is National Biodiversity Authority and State Biodiversity Board, are required to consult this BMC, that is Biodiversity Management Committees, to take decisions regarding bioresources or related knowledge within their jurisdiction. And some regulations put forward by this act include all foreign nationals or foreign organizations require prior approval of this National Biodiversity Authority for use of biological resources or associated knowledge. And about Indians and the Indian institutions, they do not require the approval of the NBA or the National Biodiversity Authority, but they should inform the state biodiversity boards prior to undertaking such activities. But for any commercial application related to use of biological resources, it should be approved by the National Biodiversity Authority. And Indian industries, they need prior intimation to the State Biodiversity Board to obtain bioresources. And if there is any violation of conservation or sustainable use or benefit sharing, the State Biodiversity Board has the right to restrict the use of bioresources. And 4, transfer the result of research to the foreign nationals or foreign organizations by the individuals or also by the Indian scientists. They require an approval of the National Biodiversity Authority. And the Biodiversity Act defines the biological resource as the plants, animals or microorganisms or their part or their genetic material and byproducts with actual or potential use or value, but it does not include human genetic material. And a small example for bioresources and traditional knowledge is the Yarsa gumba, which is a fungus and it grows on a caterpillar which is found only in the Himalayas and it is used widely in Chinese medicines. It is an example of a bioresource. Coming to our next topic, data localization. The personal data of a country's residents should be processed and stored in that country. This is the idea behind the concept of data localization. That is, it is the act of storing the data on any device that is physically present within the borders of a country where the data was generated. As of now, most of these data are stored in a cloud outside India. And localization mandates that companies collecting the critical data about consumers must store and process them within the borders of the country. And for this purpose, we need better IT infrastructure and strong security measures. And as of now, much of the cross-border data transfer is governed by the individual bilateral mutual legal assistance treaties. And even some governments restrict the free flow of digital data, especially the data which could impact the government operations or operations in the region. And the European Union's General Data Protection Regulation, it does not mandate all data to be localized, but it rather restricts the flow to countries with a strong data protection framework. And in India, the Data Protection Draft Law by the B.N. Sri Krishna Committee, they recommended that all the personal data of Indians have at least one copy in India. And this committee also recommended that a subset of that data, that is labeled as critical personal data, it must be stored and processed only in India. That's all about data localization. Our next topic is Women of India Organic Festival. It is organized by the Ministry of Women and Child Development, and this is the 6th Women of India Organic Festival, and it is organized in Chandigarh. And this festival is to celebrate and promote women farmers and entrepreneurs in the organic sector from the remote parts of India. It is a 3-day festival, and the festival aims to encourage Indian women entrepreneurs and farmers to connect with more buyers. So we can say it aims to women empowerment through financial inclusion. And this festival also promotes an organic culture in India, and through this festival, the Ministry of Women and Child Development also aims to educate people about its various initiatives and schemes relating to women and children. And let us move on to our regular programs. First is MAP period program, and today's topic is Kayapur town. It is a major town in Rakhine state in western Myanmar. And the town is situated on a natural harbour which connect the rice trade between Kolkata and Yangon. And China will develop a deep sea port in this Kayapur town along the Bay of Bengal that you can see here. And this Kayapur port gives China an alternate route for energy imports from the Middle East, so that China can avoid the Malacca Strait. The Malacca Strait is between Indonesia and Malaysia. And we should see this Kayapur town, is China's initiative of developing a port in this Kayapur town in the light of China's string of pearl policy and the Chinese developing port in the neighborhood of India as a strategy to encircle India in the Indian Ocean, and it was also a significant step for the continued implementation of the Belt and Road Initiative of the China, that is BRI initiative of the China. Coming to PQRS, today's question is from 2015 prelims and is related to environment, and the question is, with reference to bio-toilets used by the Indian Railways, consider the following statements. Statement 1. The decomposition of human waste in bio-toilet is initiated by a fungal inoculum. Statement 2. Ammonia and water vapor are the only end products in this decomposition which are released into the atmosphere. Which of the following statements are correct? Option A, 1 only, option B, 2 only, option C, both 1 and 2, and option D, neither 1 nor 2. Under this bio-toilet concept by the DRDO, the biodigester tank in every bio-toilet is filled with inoculums containing 4 different types of bacteria, not the fungal inoculum. And there is a water trap system in the toilet, and which prevents air from getting into the tank, so that the human waste is processed by anaerobic bacteria and the end product is methane gas, not ammonia. And the methane gas is allowed to escape into the air. So here both the statements are wrong. They asked about correct statement. So the answer is option D, neither 1 nor 2. That's all about today. You can download today's current affairs material from the link given below. Thanks for watching the video.